Okay, so we were discussing about viscosity. Viscosity means it is the property of the liquid in motion. Property of the liquid in motion the when there is an opposing force between the layers of the liquid. Okay, as the layers of the liquid all are not going with the same velocity, there is a relative motion between the layers of the liquid. So an opposing force, which we call it as the viscous force, and this property we call it as viscosity. So viscosity is the property of the liquid in motion whenever there is a relative motion between the layers of the liquid. This opposing force we call it as the viscous force. Okay, and it is found that this viscous force is directly proportional to area of the layers in contact and is directly proportional to the velocity gradient. Velocity gradient is change in the velocity with distance. So with dx distance, the change in velocity is dv. Okay, so with dx distance, the change in velocity is dv. So dv by dx is the velocity gradient equating it coefficient of viscosity eta a into dv by dx. Okay, and eta here can be written as viscous force. Which force is this? This is the opposing force. Viscous force upon area into the velocity gradient. So it is the viscous force when the area of the layers between area of the layers is unity and the velocity gradient is unity. Then coefficient of viscosity is equal to viscous force. Its unit is Newton per meter square. Okay, this is again meter per second upon meter. This cancels off Newton per meter square. Okay, this meter and meter cancels off upon second, which will go here. So if this is its SI unit, and dimensional formula is m raised to the power minus 1 p raised to the power minus 2. This is of coefficient of viscosity. Viscous force, it is of force only. Its dimension will be the same as that of force. Okay. So next we'll discuss about Stokes law. A very important law. Stokes, name of a scientist. Okay. Now according to Stokes, any small spherical body which is falling in a viscous medium, okay, experience will some viscous force, and this viscous force according to Stokes is equal to 6 pi coefficient of viscosity of that medium, radius of that spherical body into the velocity of the spherical body. So this law is called as the Stokes law. Whenever a spherical body is falling in a viscous medium, it experiences an opposing force called as the viscous force, which is given by 6 pi eta r into v. Okay, eta is the coefficient of viscosity, r is the radius of that spherical body, v is the velocity of the spherical body. Okay, so this was given by Stokes and is called as the Stokes law. So write down. Stokes law states that when a spherical body falls in a viscous medium, the viscous force acting on it, viscous means opposing force, which is also called as backward dragging force. It is dragging it in the backward direction. The opposing force or the viscous force acting on it is given by, write this formula, F is equal to 6 pi eta r into v. Okay, now here we will derive all these relations by the method of dimensions, which we have studied in chapter number 2, units and dimension, one of the application of the dimensional analysis. Okay, so here we will derive this formula by dimensional analysis. Okay. So derivation of this formula, how we are going to derive? By the method of dimensions. Okay, a spherical body falling in a viscous medium. Opposing force, opposing backward dragging force, Depends on, okay, this is the backward gravity force, depends on eta, coefficient of viscosity. F is what? Viscous force, backward gravity force. Viscous force depends upon coefficient of viscosity. Radius of the spherical block. Radius of spherical body. Third is velocity of the body. Okay, so any spherical body dropped in a viscous medium is depending upon these three factors. Now, using the method of dimensions, we have to derive its formula. I think everyone knows how to derive it dimensionally. I have proceeded. Okay, this viscous force is depending upon viscosity raised to the power A, radius raised to the power B, velocity raised to the power C, equating it some constant of proportionality, which is the dimensionless constant. Now put the dimensions of each of this physical property, make three equations and try to find out A, B and C. Okay, I give you half a minute to find out A, B and C. You will get A, B, C of P equals to 1. Put the dimensions of each of this. Force as a dimension, M, L, T raised to the power minus 2. K is dimensionless constant, no dimension. Eta, M, L minus 1, T minus 1 raised to the power A. Radius, length, velocity, L, T minus 1 raised to the power C. Now collect the power of M, L and T on the right hand side and equate it on the right hand side. Here on the right hand side, M is raised to the power A, L is raised to the power minus A plus B plus C. T is raised to the power minus A minus C. Whereas on the left hand side, M is raised to the power 1, L is raised to the power 1, T is raised to the power minus 2. Okay, so equate the powers of n. A is equal to 1. Equate the power of n. Minus A plus B plus C is equal to 1. Equate the power of T. Minus A minus C is equal to minus 2. Solve these three equations, you will get A already given 1. B also you will get it equal to 1 and C is also equal to 1. Substitute in this formula, so what do you get? F is equal to A eta R into B. Okay, now K cannot be found out dimensionally. This is one of the drawback of dimensions. So K is found out experimentally and its value here is 6.5 eta R into B. So here we have derived the Stokes law. So Stokes law states that whenever a small spherical body is falling in a viscous medium, then opposing force acts on it. Okay. For example, like you can consider a raindrop falling in air. Air is a viscous medium. It also has got some viscosity. So when a raindrop is falling, the layers of the air, okay, they will have some flow. So the layer which is just in contact with the spherical body will move with the same velocity. The next layer will have a little less velocity. So there is some flow of the layers, that is there is some flow of the viscous medium, okay, and an opposite force, as there is a relative motion between the layers of the air, so an opposite force will act, which we call it as the viscous force. Okay, so this viscous force is opposite the motion of the raindrop. So raindrop falling in air, raindrop spherical in shape, air viscous medium. So a spherical drop falling in a viscous medium is opposed by the viscous medium. Why? Because there is some relative motion of the layers of the air. So the raindrop will be opposed. That is some viscous force is acting on it, and this viscous force is equal to 6 pi eta r into v. Okay, note it down. So this law was given by Stokes and is called as the Stokes law. Okay, next we'll find out the expression of terminal velocity. Okay, the same spherical drop, when it is falling in a viscous medium, at a particular stage, the net force on the spherical body will be 0. The net force on it is 0, so it will fall with a constant velocity. Okay, for example, a raindrop, when it is falling in the atmosphere, initially its velocity is increasing. Why? Because due to the gravitational force of the earth. So initially its velocity increases, but at a certain stage, what will happen? The net force on this raindrop will become 0. Why? Because the upward forces will be balanced by the downward forces. And then it will start moving with a constant velocity. That maximum constant velocity is termed as the terminal velocity. As it is dropping down, its velocity is increasing, and at a particular stage, the net force is 0, so it will fall with a constant velocity. So that velocity we term it as terminal velocity, and it will be the maximum velocity. So write down terminal velocity. The maximum velocity, the maximum constant velocity, the maximum constant velocity with which a spherical drop moves in a viscous medium, is called as terminal velocity. So it is the maximum constant velocity with which a spherical body is dropped in with which a spherical body is moving in a viscous medium. Okay, now let us consider a spherical drop and let's see the forces acting on spherical drop. Forces on this spherical drop which is moving in a viscous medium. Forces on spherical drop are: first force is its weight acting in the downward direction, which we know is equal to mg. Acting downwards. Second is buoyant force. Okay, air has some buoyancy. Any body which is dropped in a viscous, dropped in any fluid, an opposite force or an upward force acts on it, which we call it as the buoyant force. Like any body moving in a liquid, any body dropped in a liquid in water, the water also exerts an upward force, which we call it as the buoyant force, which acts in the upward direction. So here B is the buoyant force. In upward direction, acting upwards. And the third is the viscous force. According to Stokes, this viscous force acts opposite to the motion. That is, it is also acting in the upward direction. Body is being dropped in the downward direction. So the viscous force is acting in the upward direction. So this is the viscous force acting upwards. Okay, now as it is moving down, its velocity increases. Okay, and at a particular stage, the net force on it will be 0. And when the net force on it is equal to 0, then it will move with a constant velocity, and the velocity which will come in that formula will come in as terminal velocity. Okay, so the net force on it will be 0. Net force on the drop is 0 when the downward force is equal to the sum of the upward forces. That is, W is equal to the buoyant force plus the viscous force. Okay, now let's find these expressions and put it in this formula, or directly we'll put it in this formula only. Weight is how much? Mg. Buoyant force is B. And the viscous force according to Stokes. Just now we found out viscous force according to Stokes is given by 6 pi eta r into V. Okay, 6 pi eta r into V. This V we have written as it is the viscous force. Okay, now mass of this mg, mass of this drop, spherical drop, mass of the drop we know is equal to volume into density. Mass of the drop is equal to volume into density. Let the density of the spherical drop is rho. Okay, so V into rho into G. Okay, buoyant force. Buoyant force is again equal to mass of the viscous medium into acceleration due to gravity is equal to m dash into G. M dash is what? Buoyant force, mass of the displaced, mass of the medium displaced, like the raindrop falling in air, mass of the air displaced. Okay, so m dash, let us write it as m dash into G plus 6 pi eta r into V. Okay, now what is the volume of the spherical drop? As it is here, we know that its volume is 4 upon 3 pi r cube into rho into G. Again, m dash is volume into density, volume of the air displaced, volume of the medium displaced. Okay, as the spherical drop is there, so it will displace the volume equals to the spherical volume equals to the volume of the sphere. So volume is how much? 4 upon 3 pi r cube. Volume of the medium displaced, volume of the, suppose a raindrop is falling in here, volume of the air displaced, which will be 4 by 3 pi r cube into the volume, into the density of the air, into the density of the medium. So let the density of the medium is sigma into G, m dash volume into density into G plus 6 pi eta r into V. Okay, now when the net force on it is 0, then the spherical drop moves with a constant velocity, and this constant velocity we call it as terminal velocity. So this V we call it as the terminal velocity. So here we have to find out the expression of this V. Okay, let us write it as V T, a subscript T, showing that it is the terminal velocity. So bring this Vp on one side and the rest all terms on the other side. You will get the expression of the terminal velocity. So terminal velocity 6 pi eta r into Vp is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Take this term over here. Rho minus sigma into G. Okay, now Vt will be equal to, simplify, 4 by 3 pi r cube, divide this term, 6 pi eta into r, rho minus sigma into g. Hence you get the expression of the terminal velocity as 4 by 3, 2, this will become 2 by 9, 2 by 9, pi and pi cancels out, r cube, that is r square upon eta rho minus sigma into g is the expression for the terminal velocity. 2 by 9 r square rho minus sigma into g, where rho is the density of the spherical drop and sigma is the density of the medium in which the spherical drop is falling. Okay, so rho minus sigma, rho is the density of the spherical body and sigma is the density of the medium. So the expression for the terminal velocity is 2 by 9 r square rho minus sigma into g upon eta. Eta is the coefficient of viscosity. So here we have derived the expression of terminal velocity. Okay, so here you may write down where rho is the density of the spherical body. Rho is the density of the spherical body. Sigma is the density of the medium. Sigma is the density of the medium. Okay, from this expression you see that terminal velocity is directly proportional to r square. Bigger the spherical drop, that is more is its radius, more will be its terminal velocity. So from the expression we see that, it is seen that Vt is directly proportional to r square. So bigger the drop, more is the terminal velocity. So bigger raindrops will have a greater terminal velocity, okay, as compared to small drops. Okay, so write down bigger raindrops has greater terminal velocity. Bigger raindrops has greater terminal velocity as compared to smaller drops. Okay, so bigger drops will have a greater terminal velocity. Okay, also you see that it is directly proportional to rho minus sigma. Vt is directly proportional to rho minus sigma. Okay, now from here, if rho is greater than sigma, what will happen? Vt will be positive. Terminal velocity is positive. It means the body is falling in the downward direction. Velocity and the motion, terminal velocity will be in the same direction. If rho is greater than sigma, Vt is, that is the terminal velocity is positive. That is the body falls down. Okay, for example, raindrop falling in the downward direction in air. Okay, raindrop falling in air moves in the downward direction. So write down. Okay, so from here 2 by 9 is constant, g is constant. So Vt is directly proportional to r square and also Vt is directly proportional to rho minus sigma. So write down, for example, a raindrop falling in air, Okay, now if rho is less than sigma, then Vd is negative. That is, the spherical drop or the spherical body moves up. The spherical drop moves upwards. For example, an air bubble in a cold drink bottle or in a soda bottle, it will move in the upward direction. Why? Because the density of the air bubble, rho is the density of the spherical bubble. The density of the air bubble is less than the density of the cold drink or the density of soda. So it will move in the upward direction, that is Vd is negative. So write down, for example, an air bubble moving upwards in a soda bottle, moving upwards in a soda bottle. Now if rho is equal to sigma, then Vd is equal to 0. If the density of that spherical drop and the density of the medium are same. Rho is equal to sigma, so rho minus sigma will be 0, so Vd is equal to 0. Okay, for example, in the clouds, the raindrops are suspended at the same point. Neither they are moving upwards or downwards. Why? Because their density, the density of outside medium and the density of that spherical drop or the moisture or of the raindrop or both are equal. So it remains suspended at the position, like in the clouds, they remain suspended at the same position. Okay, just an example. So write down, for example, the raindrop in air, remains suspended at the same position, like the clouds, like in the clouds. Okay, so this is about terminal velocity. Okay, next we will discuss the types of flow of a liquid. There are three types of flow of a liquid: streamline flow, turbulent flow, laminar flow. So we will discuss the types of flow of a liquid on the next one, that is tomorrow. Okay, and also I will put the video of the practicals which you have to write in your practical notebook. So you will, only 5 experiments, you will write down those experiments. Observation table, you will leave it empty, no need to write any readings. Observation table, you will leave it like that. The rest, all things, you will write in your practical notebook. Okay, and then on the last page, you will write about art integration learning, what we have learned from it. That is what art you have inculcated in that is used scale, pencil, paper, or the wire, like in some of the experiments, some wire, thread, ball, all these things comes under art. So they are on the last page, you will write down graph. Okay, in some of the experiments, you have to draw the graph, which you will draw it on the graph paper. Only the shape you will draw. What will be the shape of the graph? Okay, no readings, only the shape of the graph you will draw on the graph paper and stick it where you are writing the experiment. Okay, thank you.